welcome to our very first video blog from Lanner Electronics. My name is Sven Freudenfeld. I'm part of the Telecom Applications Business Unit, and I will talk about defining the network edge. Over the last 4 years, we have been investing in white boxes, which have been deployed for SD-WAN and universal CPE deployments. By disaggregating software from hardware, these appliances can be scaling from small deployment, medium, all the way up to a large deployment. In the edge infrastructure, there are different type of edge devices seen in the network, which are typically sort of a white box approach or a disaggregated network infrastructure element. It's starting from the on-prem edge, the customer premise equipment typically, which is hosting numerous virtual network functions and also acting as a software-defined WAN device, wide area network device. So we have built a portfolio for white boxes which are residing on the customer premise with scalability around x86. Some of the hints on this slide deck is that we are primarily working with Intel, but not limited to Intel. But the majority on the on-prem devices are based on Intel, including some of the capabilities for LTE devices as well for Wi-Fi. These are the baseline for connectivity on the on-premises edge. And then on the right side of the equation, we see the network edge or the service provider edge. And the service provider edge can reside either at the enterprise as a large multi-access edge compute platform with scalability. It introduces switching, introduces compute resources as well as security, and we can deploy multiple VNFs, multiple network functions onto the same physical hardware from multiple vendors. So therefore, we built a large ecosystem leveraging the same type of hardware for multiple network function on the same device. Well, latency is a key element here. We're moving some of the network functions from on-premise towards the network edge. Depending on the application, there might be latency issues. So we're building appliances that can sustain lots of networking, specifically for the aggregation point for virtual BNG applications, for an example, where we aggregate multiple customer premise devices at the network edge, and then basically creating networking paths based on the requirements. So, and then we see the network core as well, the cloud data center. These are typically fully hosted data centers. And with a rack of compute nodes and switching fabrics, and below that you can see the type of latency what you could foresee in the different type of the edge infrastructure. And we see the trend now with deploying multiple or many of these virtual CPEs and SD-WAN appliances, that the next big demand will be at the network edge, and primarily multi-access edge computing. This will show you 3 different categories for edge devices: the wireless communication network, the enterprise IT network, as well the edge infrastructure for the cloud service provider. So on the wireless communication network, typically it's becoming an appliance, a white box appliance, which is hosting functions like FPGA for some of the baseband processing units in the x86 appliance. But you also see the need for the aggregation point for use cases for for Cloud Run, O-RAN type of applications, which is then the multi-access edge compute device. And in our case, we're actually looking at, or we have been built a platform which contains switching programmability, compute scalability, as well security built into the same device. The enterprise IT portion is really the high-end to low-end customer premise devices, which are scaling from 4-core all the way up to a 16-core device, which can host multiple VNFs for enterprise applications, cybersecurity, as well other network functions or virtual network function, including unified communications, which can reside on the customer premise equipment at the branch office, and can also be aggregated at the regional office. The regional office, as well, the enterprise data center, is usually limited on space. So that's where we see different requirements for different types of appliances, and so we have built that in our portfolio as well. And then on the third portion is the cloud service provider, and that's really where the network provider platform is becoming the edge compute device, which requires full scalability on that. Again, there might be on some of the internet hubs or the network providers, there may be enough footprint for sort of a central office, but in some cases these are limited in space as well, and power. This is a snapshot from the Intel portfolio on the edge infrastructure and how this is going to be defined. There are different types of x86 architectures available on the market. When we build appliances, we're looking at the different use cases and how we can scale the best performance and the best I/O capabilities in terms of networking support, as well for security. And you can see there are multiple SKUs, primarily the Intel Atom family, the Xeon family, as well. We are part of the Intel Select program, so we have built multiple appliances around with typical use cases, and all the way from enterprise type of gateway, all the way up to ruggedized extended temperature ranges devices, which can be used as an intelligent edge device or an IoT device as a gateway. So we cover pretty much the broad spectrum for different type of edges. Of course, just the hardware doesn't do it. We built up a large software ecosystem. We including orchestration, we including NFVI functions, virtual network function as well, which could co-reside on the same physical hardware. So we built a broad spectrum, which have adopted our appliances and also tested and validated. We have a partnership program where we have been working with these partners to validate and as well certify appliances, and we will continue extending that. Over the next couple of weeks, what we would like to do is we would like to bring in some of our key partners, explaining some of the differences on the software layer, on how the integration has been taking place and what type of deployments and what kind of use cases we are looking for. So for the next couple of weeks, please tune back in, and looking forward to see comments as well, and we will be in touch for the next coming weeks. Thank you very much.